In today's video, we're going to be looking at 15 new things we will see in Season 5 and Season 6. At the end of Season 4, we're going to get a major update, so most of these things will be added to the game in Season 5. First, we're going to be looking at the new functional weapons. Let's talk about the GRAU 556. This is a gun that has a damage profile of 28, 23, 18 with a headshot multiplier of 1.5. The fire rate of this GRAU 556 is very similar to Kilo 141. If you are wondering what gun is similar to this, GRAU 556 is also very popular for its insane range. It has a 4-shot kill potential up to 34 meters. Isn't that great? And the hipfire spread is very similar to other assault rifles in the game. People use this gun because of its great ADS time and very low sprint to fire delay. So it's a great gun for, let's say, rush gameplay. What's so cool about this gun is that every barrel has a different iron sight. And it is also expected that this gun will be one of the next mythics in Call of Duty Mobile. Every barrel has a different iron sight is a great feature that they can implement into a mythic. So I think this will be a very unique mythic if they make a mythic for this. Think about it, you have barrel attachments. Whenever you change the barrel attachment, you get a different iron sight, a new iron sight that you can have fun with. So I believe this gun will be one of the greatest mythics we will ever see in Call of Duty Mobile. The next functional weapon is the FFAR. Some people are confused whether this is the FARMAS. This is not the FARMAS. FARMAS is FR556, which is already in the game. This is a different gun. If you talk about this gun, the fire rate is slightly better than the HVK30. It has a damage profile of 30, 29 and 22, but it does not have a really good range like the GRAU 556. It had the lowest reload cancel time out of all the assault rifles when they first released it to Black Ops 2. Opposite to the GRAU 556, the FFAR has a sprint to fire and ADS time which is very similar to Man of War, and because of its insane recoil, the foregrip is a must. This can also inherit a poor hip fire spread, so this gun is not a great gun to offensive gameplay. It's always good to be in defensive cover when you're using this gun. At the time, people thought this is a better version of the HVK30, but truly it is not. And according to data miners, we will also get a mythic for the FFAR. Special thanks to Murder Blast for all these leaks. Please go and subscribe him, link is in the description. We will get a heartbeat sense attachment for the Hades. So when you are using the Hades, under the under barrel attachment, you can equip a heartbeat sensor. This can save the time you spend switching to the heartbeat sensor and switch back to the gun. This will be a great feature for search and destroy, and I can expect a lot of people using this gun. The heartbeat sensor works just like the normal heartbeat sensor, just that it is always on. Even when you ADS, you can see the heartbeat sensor. That is very special. So you can just camp with the Hades heartbeat sensor. When you are in the non-ADS mode, the heartbeat sensor appears smaller in the screen, but still you can see where the enemies are. Next up, the upcoming legendary blueprints. We talked about mythics, so what about the legendary blueprints we will see in Season 5 and Season 6? We will see legendaries for the following guns within Season 5 and Season 6. We have legendary for the PP19 Bison, XPR50, Kilo 141, Mac 10, KSP45 and RUS. It's so good to see a legendary for the XPR50. I always wanted one and we're gonna finally get one. A new Scorestreak is also added called Guardian. You will need a 650 score to use this Guardian Scorestreak. It is a placeable disc that projects a cone of microwave radiation that stuns and impairs enemies. Notice how it works like a cone. It deals 10 damage to any player's caught within the cone of radiation every half a second, and it takes just 5 seconds to completely kill an enemy with full health, and it is easily distinguished by the particles emitted by its silver disc. The player gets 10 points every second for suppressing the enemy. The Guardian is best placed as choke points, long and linear sight lines, and to defend objectives while teammates are absent in the area. Players can effectively block tight corridors and limit the enemy's overall mobility across the map. One player can use up to 3 Guardians, and it is better to use a Guardian with the combination of a sentry gun because you can slow down and impair their vision while a sentry gun does the job for you. Since the Guardian also does damage to the enemy, sentry gun will even kill faster. This is a very effective tactic, especially if multiple people use Guardians and sentry guns in one team. A building can be completely locked down with over 10 Guardians and sentry guns, and it makes it impossible for the enemy to enter without proper tools like the EMP Scorestreak or the EMP grenades. If the enemy team uses a Guardian, if you can't see the visible distortion in the air, you can hear a humming sound when you get close to a Guardian. Interestingly, the Guardian can take down K9 unit. When a K9 unit is caught in the beam, it will quickly topple to the ground. K9 unit will only try to get up and eventually it will get killed. So this is going to be a really interesting Scorestreak, especially in domination and hardpoint matches. A new battle royale class is added called the Guard Chip. What it does is it increases the strength of you and nearby teammates, and also it reduces the bullet damage for a long time, providing a protective armor. This is like a combination of the TAC-5 operator skill and the kinetic armor. You can literally see a kinetic armor in battle royale, and interestingly you can see that even when you get damage, it drains in the same rate as of when you are not not getting damaged. So it will provide armor whether you are getting damaged or not. I think that's great. If you are still watching the video, please make sure you leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, consider subscribing. Also, please go and subscribe to Data Miner Murder Blast. Link is in the description and in the comment section. In upcoming seasons, we will also see finishers in Call of Duty Mobile. Now, when we get finishers, do we need Warzone Mobile at all? Interestingly, the finishers or finishing moves, also known as executions, can be used in both multiplayer and battle royale, if you ever wondered. Because in the settings, you can see a one tap and a long press to do an execution. I'm not sure about how it will work in the multiplayer, but in battle royale, mostly it will work when you knock an enemy. Remember Apex Legends mobile finishers? Yeah, it will be just like that, but better. Some people argue that in battle royale, you can see the foot indicators on the map and also the screen. It will be harder to do the finisher, but I don't think that's a problem, because if you move slow enough, you can take out a camper using a finisher. Here are some things you should know about finishers. The finisher will be cancelled if either person dies, and the victim of the finisher will still be alive if the attacker is killed before the finishing move is completed. Each finishing move has different variations when used on either standing, prone or downed enemies. You will also see finishers with foreign objects and additional characters like pets or companions, which will carry out the execution for you instead of the player. We can also use the trophy system in Battle Royale from Season 5. However, in this gameplay that is not that visible at all. But you know how a trophy system works. It will be just fine. Jack 12 will get some sound optimizations. Actually, Jack 12 sounds better right now. I hated the sound of Jack 12 for a long time, but now it's better. I love it. We also have a Search and Destroy Rescue mode. I believe this is a separate mode from Search and Destroy mode, and hopefully it will not be replaced. What basically happens is that in your team and your enemy team, whenever a teammate gets killed, you can see a hologram with the player's avatar, and when you go close to it and starts to rescue, in 5 seconds the dead player will come back to the game. Notice when you kill enemies, you can see a red hologram, while someone in your team gets killed, you can see a blue hologram. If we see this in ranked, people will get so mad when their friend doesn't revive you and instead they revive the pro player in the team. They have also added ADS vibration for the following weapons. Now, if you are wondering about what is the ADS vibration, it is also known as the visual recoil. It's not the actual recoil, but it feels like recoil. I believe they have added this feature because of the ADS FOV sync. With the feature, you feel very less recoil. So they're gonna add some visual recoil into that. So this LK24 will have a visual recoil. You can feel like it has some recoil, but truly it is not. It's just visual. Then the XPR50 also have a visual recoil. This is interesting because we are supposed to get a legendary XPR next season, and they have added this, maybe to make things more realistic. The HPR-A3 will also have the ADS vibration. Unless you use a really good iron sight for the HPR-A3, it becomes a little bit annoying to use the HPR with this kind of visual recoil. What do you guys think about it? The PDW57 will also get some visual recoil, but it is bearable. In Season 5 and Season 6, we will probably get another 200 levels. That's correct. The player level will go up to 400 levels. So when you reach 400 levels, you will get a frame, a calling card, and a charm called Call 400. And when you reach milestones from 200 player level to 400 player level, you will get the following blueprints. You're gonna get a PP19 Bison Cosmos, Hades Dark Matter, Striker Cosmos, CRG 20mm Dark Matter, Bat Cosmos, a Machete Cosmos, Man of War Dark Matter, Outlaw Cosmos, and finally SKS Cosmos. So we get some really interesting rewards on our way to 400 levels. Eventually we will get more and more player levels. I can feel that. And that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon. Watch my other videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.